Welcome to Movement and Function. Today I'm going to show you 4 great toe stretches. These are super helpful if you have stiff, tight toes, especially in your big toe. So let's jump right into it. First thing we'll do is warm up your toes before we start stretching them. So we'll start with curling the toes up, curling your toes down. 20 repetitions. Open, lift your toes, curl your toes down and in. Pause in each position just momentarily, up and down. Our goal here is to increase the blood flow, get the joints moving, and allow the tendons, muscles, everything else to warm up. Okay, after 20 repetitions, our first stretch is toe dorsiflexion. So either standing or sitting, you'll place your foot on the ground here. And the first movement is simply lifting your foot up and keeping your toes on the surface. Hold this stretch for 15 seconds and then relax your foot. Kind of shake that out a little bit. Let's do that 3 times. Press up, pause, hold for 15 seconds, and then lower. Now I'm showing you this 1 foot at a time. You can also do these stretches with both feet at the same time. So if I'm sitting this way, I'd simply lift my heels up, let my toes bend. Hold for 15 seconds, and then relax. If you are doing these standing, then definitely just stretch 1 foot at a time so that you have a solid base of support on the other leg. The second stretch is toe flexion. This will be bending the toes underneath. Be gentle with this as it can be quite intensive. So we'll bend the toes underneath and just gently let the weight of your leg stretch and press your toes down. Hold for 15 seconds and then relax, wiggle the toes a bit, and repeat 3 times. While sitting, you can also try this stretch with both feet at the same time. Simply 1 foot at a time, curl your toes underneath, and then just relax, letting the weight of your legs gently press your toes under. Hold for 15 seconds or as long as you feel comfortable, and then relax. Wiggle the toes a little bit and repeat 3 times. Okay, number 3 is a manual stretch of your toes into flexion and dorsiflexion. So bring your foot up here to the edge of the table. And with your hand, simply curl the toes down. Hold for about 5 seconds or as long as you feel comfortable. And then bend your toes up. Using the palm of your hand, lift all 5 toes up. Hold for 5 seconds and then release. Wiggle the toes a little bit. You can do these all in one direction, but I recommend alternating the flexion down for 5 seconds with the dorsiflexion, lifting up for 5 seconds. Continue alternating back and forth 10 times. If you notice one toe is particularly stiff, you can take a break and simply stretch that toe. So if I notice my big toe is particularly stiff, I could just focus on that toe. Using my other hand, lift the toe up, hold for 5 seconds, and then bend that toe down. Hold for 5 seconds. And then I could go back to stretching all the toes at the same time. The last stretch is actually a mobilization for the first ray. The first ray is the extension of your great toe or your big toe, all the way up into the middle of your foot. Oftentimes, if the first ray is stiff, then the mechanics of the entire foot are off. And you might be feeling particular stiffness in the toes that actually originates in this first ray. To mobilize the first ray, sit with your foot supported and use the outside hand. So in this case, it's my left foot. I'm going to use my left hand to hold the outer part of my foot. Now with my right hand, I'm going to grip the first ray, so the knuckle, the big knuckle of your big toe, right between my index finger and my thumb. I'm going to hold it just like this. Now I'm just going to gently press down in this direction. There isn't a whole lot of movement in the first ray, but there should be enough movement to feel this mobilization. Keep this gentle, it should not be painful. With all of these stretches, it's normal to feel a little bit of stretch discomfort in the joints, in the muscles, and all of the tissues, but there should not be any sharp pain. Continue mobilizing for anywhere between 15 seconds up to a minute or even longer. Start with a short duration mobilization, especially if your foot is really stiff. Listen to your body, see what feels comfortable, and go from there. I recommend doing all of these stretches and the mobilization on both feet to keep things symmetrical. But if you notice you have one foot in particular or one toe in particular that is especially stiff, then definitely feel free to focus the stretching or do additional stretching in just that one area. This can be especially common if you've had an injury to your ankle or your foot and you've been casted for a period of time. Oftentimes that foot is very stiff and the other foot has actually been overworked because of all of the overuse that it's been doing. So in that case, you could do the basic stretches with both feet, because it feels good on both feet, and then do some additional stretching and the first Ray mobilization on the foot that's been casted or injured and needs the additional attention. I hope that you found these exercises and mobilization technique helpful for restoring flexibility in your toes, decreasing tightness, so that you're able to walk, run, perform all your regular activities to the best of your ability and with the greatest amount of comfort. Here's to your healing, health, and happiness. Have a wonderful day.